This is just a little short video, yeah, right, to tell you and show you why you should do some inspection and maintenance on your expensive guitar, if I can talk, once in a while. Alright, welcome back, folks. Thank you for tuning in and keeping it here. I made a video a while back about this and got a bunch of new subscribers since then. I thought, yeah, I want to do another one because I noticed something on this guitar I didn't know was happening to it. This is the guitar I used for that tone night test, and like I said, it's been in storage for a good while. And I noticed it's not anything major, it's just minor, but I'm glad I saw it now. I'm going to get you and show you and explain some things that you should get your guitar out while you're watching this video and check it with me. It's just like preventative maintenance is what it is, really. If you do it enough, you know, like this I'm going to show you, you might catch something before it gets very bad. And that's the key right there. The longer you let something like this go, the worse it gets. And I got proof of that in this guitar right here. I'll show that to you too. I'm going to have to get you first, show you what I was going to show you, and then I want to put the macro lens on and show you the problem that I noticed on this guitar that I didn't know it had. It developed laying in a case in storage. And I've kept it humidified. Right now it's what's the humidity in here? 66%. Wow, that's pretty humid. So anyways, I'm going to get you. I might put the macro lens on first, I might do it second, but I'm going to put it on and show you what I found on this guitar. Hold on. Okay, this is not the macro lens yet. I just wanted to show you what we're going to be looking at here in a minute. Can you see all of those cracks in the finish? I have to glare the light on it a little bit so you can see it. See how it finishes all cracked, all to crap, man. The top of the guitar is that way too. I have always kept the humidity right, but I didn't buy this guitar new. It was like that when I got it. There's no way you can fix that. I'll show you the top later. You have to sand it down and just refinish it to get rid of that. The area, it's not as bad as I thought it was now when I get to looking at it. It's this area here where the binding meets the back, and over here where the binding meets the back. I'm going to put the macro lens on so you can really see it. I don't think I can zoom in on it enough here. I might be able to. No, I can't. Okay, let me put the macro lens on. I'll bring you back. And you're going to be looking at this lower bout right along here where the binding is. Alright, if I can hold the camera still enough. It's very hard to hold still with this lens at this magnitude. Right there is the area. It's really not as bad as I thought it was now when I get it in here in these bright lights and look at it, especially through this thing. I thought the binding was coming off from the back of it, okay? Now right on up here is another place. Maybe that's a couple of them right there. It's not really coming off yet, but it looks like it might. Maybe has just barely started to. Wow, that's hard to hold still. This was the worst place, I think, right there, yeah. I don't know if I can get you any closer to it or not. But it's not open. There's glue and well finished down in there. It does look like to me they finished over it, and it was separated there, what little bit that is. But it's so minute, man. It's so tiny. I saw it and I thought, man, I got to get some glue in that or do something to it before it gets any worse. But now if I get a good look at it, I think it's going to be okay. I'll show you what it looks like with the regular wide angle lens on it now. Let's see if I can find it. It's right there where the wood meet the back, the binding meets the wood, and the other place I thought was over here, but it looks okay too. But that's what it looks like normally. And maybe you can see these cracks here. I can't get the cracks to show up in here, man, for some reason. But trust me, they're running this way. They're all up and down through here, man. Cracks everywhere in the finish. Hold on, I'll show you the top. Alright, looking at the top of the guitar, Down there in this very same place, it looks like the binding was separated from the top a little bit when they finished it. Can you see that? If I get any closer, I'm going to block the light with the camera. But it's not separated. Now that I get down and really check it out, it's not. Right there's the worst place. Let's see. Man, I can't see it. Oops, took a hit there. Right there's the place. But it's really not... let me show you these cracks in this finish. Maybe I can show you better. Stupid camera would focus. Yeah, can you see the cracks in that finish? They're also running this way. There's like 4 or 5 there, 1 here, 2 or 3 there. Well, it's all over it, man. Somebody didn't keep the guitar humidified right. Of course, I've got that Dan Tyminski Martin. I didn't buy it new either, and it looks like that, the finish. Y'all know all the tricks, man. You should go completely around your guitar. Check that everywhere, all the way around it. Top and the back of it, okay? Also look at it. I ain't got a light down there, but right there where the wood meets the binding, all around the guitar. You know about checking the bridge. That's under string tension. You see that won't go under there at all. See what I mean? That's a good way to see if your bridge is pulling up. You should also check your keys here, these screws, and the screws under here in the bottom back. It's hard to hold this camera and do this. These screws in the buttons should just be, you know, just enough to keep the key. If you get it too tight, the key's going to be hard to turn. You don't want that. But you want to hold the string in tune, okay? But they work loose. These ones in the back here I'm talking about, they work loose. And, you know, these come loose now and again. You should check those. Check your, mine's down here. Your strap buttons. Make sure they're tight. Anything and everything you can think of. You should do that at least a couple times a year. Maybe you can see those cracks better this way. Yeah, I think I'm seeing them in the camera. The whole top's like that, man. But like I say, it's like that on that Dan Tyminski guitar too. I don't know if it did it after I got it or was like that when I got it. I didn't notice it when I got it, but... And you got to really, like this one, you got to really get down and look at it to see that. Here's a place. Right there. And right here. And I'm going to fix that just in the next day or two. I'll probably make videos of it. Fix those 2 places. Hold on. Let me tell you how those happen. Let me get you down there closer where you can get a good look at it. That's the worst one. And then the other one right there. Let me tell you how that happened. You're probably going to laugh, man. The way those dents happened was, I had this guitar in a stand, a guitar stand. Beside the guitar was a Walmart bag with, it wasn't full, but it had a whole bunch of D-cell batteries in it. That's those bigger round ones. The old flashlights used to use them. Just separate in the bag there. So I needed, for whatever reason, to move the bag of batteries on the other side of the guitar. Like I say, it was standing, the guitar was standing up like that, you know, in a stand. So I picked the batteries, the bag up, batteries, look at it, and I start to reach over the guitar to set it down on the other side of the guitar, and as soon as I got the bag directly over top of the guitar, that damn bag busted, man. Batteries fell out all over the top. It made a hellacious noise. Luckily, that's all the damage it did. I mean, a lot of batteries came down on that. You can imagine how loud that was. But I'm going to make a video probably fixing that. I tried to steam it out one time and failed because some of the fibers under there are gone, man. I guess it knocked them out. And it wouldn't steam. It came up a lot from what it was. It used to look way worse than that. but the finish is cracked there, you know, and it's getting bigger. And you get a place in your finish like that, it'll just grow and get bigger over time. This one's doing it right here. That one not so much, but the worst one I showed you guys. Anyways, back on subject now. Tighten up all your keys. Check every key, screw, nut. If it's got nuts around the pegs, on the peg head. And, you know, try to slip a paper under your bridge back here with the strings, with the guitar, under tension, under string tension. Tuned up, you know, to normal. Whatever it's built to tune for. Look at the frets. Go down the frets and look at all of them. You know, keep an eye on everything, man. Really examine the guitar. Look at the neck joint. You know, look around your nut up here for any funkiness going on. Look around your saddle for any funk going on down there. I get a lot of complaints about open strings buzzing. A lot of people ask me questions about that. And usually, not always, but usually it's something to do with the way the string leaves the nut or the way it leaves the saddle. Usually. Now, if you, of course, you can have too much back bow in the neck, they're going to buzz open or can that way. But usually it's got something to do with the saddle or nut. Anyways, you know, just look at everything, man. Get it under a good light and go all around this binding. The sides where it meets the sides and meets the top. Go all around the binding where it meets the back and the sides. And really look at it close. I'm really relieved, man, that that's no worse there than what it was. I was worried. I thought, wow, that's happened since I put it in storage. But I say look at the neck joint. Look at everything really close. Look where the fretboard is glued onto the neck. Both sides of that, you know, just look up and down it, make sure it's still holding. I had a guitar in here. Yeah, y'all might remember, I think it was an old, might have been a Silvertone. It's an old archtop guitar. The lady didn't want to put $250 into fixing it, at least to where it would hold together. And I was trying to play it, and I knew I could see the fretboard moving, man, up at the nut when I was playing. I got to looking, and it was loose on both ends. The only part holding it was a little bit in the middle. But that whole guitar was coming apart. You can search the channel for it if you want to see it. It was a nice guitar. It would have been worth saving. I said I would at least, it needed, I would have charged her a whole lot to really do the whole guitar the way it needed to be done. She didn't want to put no money in it. And I said, well, for $250, I'll at least stabilize the thing, you know, and make it playable. She didn't even want to do that, man. Like I say, it was an old, very old, you can watch the video if you want to see how old it was. I don't remember exactly right now, but it was old. She didn't want to put $250 into it. I don't know whatever happened to the guitar. Anyways, check everything, man. Check it at least twice per year. And go over all that stuff. And just make sure it's all, you know, staying together the way it should. Hope this helps some of you guys with your guitar maintenance. The ones that do your own. Maybe, you know, be something you can do to other people's, inspect them. Or fix them if they need it. Thanks for watching. Cheers. I'll catch you on the next video.